Welcome to episode 5 of Getting Down with GarageBand. In this episode, we are going to show how easy it is to start creating real music right away using only the sounds that come with GarageBand. First, we'll start with an empty loops project. Since GarageBand has so many loops and sounds included, it may seem tricky to figure out where to begin or how to find what you are looking for. GarageBand gives us a couple of different ways to keep organized. First, at the top of the Loops browser, we see 3 buttons. If we click the first button, we change the Loops browser to column view. This sorts the loops into categories like genres, instruments, and moods. If we choose genres, then country, we will see that all of the loops and sound effects that fall within that genre are organized into categories again. Now let's choose moods, and then cheerful. Again, we see a categorized list. If we click through these, we can see that these are listed and grouped in different ways. A lot of the sounds are cross-referenced as well, because they apply to more than one category. Also, if you find sounds you think that you'll be using often, you can favorite them and they will appear in the favorites list. Another handy option here is to filter by scale. We can choose between major and minor, or select loops that don't apply to either. This is helpful as major scales have a more of an upbeat or positive feeling to the melody, and minor scales have a more somber or serious feel. Now let's return to the musical button view. We can see how this basically shows us all of our options at once. How this works is that each button works like a filter. If we click all drums, we can see that there are still some options highlighted. This way, we can combine choices to narrow down the amount of sounds we have to go through and find what we are looking for. The last button at the top shows us the most common options for podcasts such as sound effects, jingles, and stingers. A stinger is a short musical effect or cue that can be used as a transition or simply for comical or dramatic effect. All of these are great for adding the finishing touches to your videos or podcasts. So let's try this out and see how it works. Let's say we want to make some intro music for a video, and we want to really grab the viewer's attention. In the basic musical view, I'm going to choose Intense. You can follow along or make your own choices as we go through these steps. Immediately, we are shown a list, and it tells us how many choices there are. Although, this list will include loops and jingles, as well as sound effects or any other types of sound in GarageBand. I'm going to choose piano so we can see if there are any good options for a main theme. Hear how we can preview loops before dragging them in just by clicking on them. I'll try doing something with this one. We can extend the loop a little by dragging it out from the top corner here. Now let's add some rhythm. I'll click piano again to unfilter it and then choose beats, staying with the Intense theme. Now, if we click play and preview a loop at the same time, GarageBand will wait for the next measure and begin to preview the loop in time with our project. I'll choose a beat and drag it in. Again, it plays in time, and we can drag it out to play further if we need. Now let's add some sort of lead sound. I'm going to look under synth. I'll find a simple pattern I like and drag it in. I'd like to leave a bit of an intro before this comes in, so I'll place it a little later in the timeline. I'll also loop it so it fills this section of the song. Now we can have a listen. When we listen to these pieces one at a time, we wouldn't normally think that they could be from the same song, but they sound pretty good together here. As GarageBand matches the tempos and keys for us, you should be able to find lots of different combinations for your piece. Remember, there are 10 parts to this series, so stay tuned for more Getting Down with GarageBand.